Hi, everybody. Are you ready to be fired up? Because I sure am. I've got James Rembert, the Zillow Killer, with us today. I actually was interviewed. He interviewed me on his podcast, and I was like, you know what? I like you. I want you to be on mine. And so I invited him to become on my podcast. So, James, how you doing?
All is well. All is well.
And isn't he so attractive, everyone? James, if you're listening, you don't know, but if you can see how attractive James is. He's such a great human being. Very much the real deal. We were actually laughing. He was, he had me on his podcast, and he was like, the last person I had, they were like, he said they were just full of crap.
It's terrible. Oh, wait, this rated PG or 13?
I'm a PG podcast. Yes.
Oh, okay. Let me fix my mouth. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. But I was just laughing, and he's so, okay. So tell us a little bit what you do.
Well, right now I am a practitioner on both sides as an agent. So I sold real estate for about 4 years. I did enough where I was able to walk out. I mean, kind of fire myself, built my team, and at my ending transition, or making a transition into the agency, I kind of leaned more into the advertising world. And in the process of me selling real estate, going into my fourth year, I built out my very first agency, which is Digital Natives, where we service probably about 250 plus real estate teams and brokerages worldwide. We take care of all of their, you guys call it social media. We just call it distribution. So anything from Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, you name it, Messenger, SMS, we take care of all of that. And the other company I just acquired of 2019 is called ROAS Consulting, where we deal with more of commercial-based companies where we do messenger, voice-based campaigns, and a little bit of augmented reality. So from Nike, from Adidas to Macy's to Warby Parker, Lego Toys, some of our clients there. So anything that pertains to our industry and on a more commercial or e-commerce structure, we handle in reference to the front end and back end for automation, sales, lead generation, and all that good stuff. So
That's awesome. So you're pretty busy.
A little bit.
Sounds like you're pretty busy. So talk to me about what is one of what is something, first of all, what is something that you see agents doing right? And let's start with there. What do you see that agents are doing that's right, that's working right now?
Well, video, of course. I mean, and you know that video is the key component. When we talk video, we talk about top of funnel structure. We talk about awareness. We talk about intimacy. I kind of put the internet in a small manifesto, where if you are doing video, the manifesto of the internet, first you have to understand the internet is a presence, not a destination. When you get that, you understand that you have to be able to resonate, be consistent, build some omnipresence, and then tap into intimacy, right? Because our business is belly to belly, right? So, sometimes we see the internet as like the OK Corral, but it is trackable and it's measurable, right? But when we understand that once we put ourselves out there, people can actually hear who we are, right? They can kind of pretty much hear our heart and hear that we're really trying to serve. And then that leads into that likability, which we always talk about, know, like, and trust. So before you spend money, because you don't really have to spend money to start out, right? You can get I have coaching clients and others that are extremely effective just on the front end, which is video. But until you get past the video side of it or putting yourself out there, everything else is a waste of time. So if you're not going to tap into intimacy, I don't advise anybody to spend money in a platform yet.
Yeah, I totally agree, because people aren't going to convert, right? And when you can actually, putting money behind ads on Facebook using video is just unbelievably successful. And here's the thing about Facebook advertising that I want, because that's what I teach. I teach agents how to utilize digital marketing, social media, video to really become what I call the community market leader in their area. But the thing about utilizing video is that, and Facebook, is that it's not like every time you run an ad, you can say, oh, this lead came from that ad. Because what happens is that people start to see you so much. You're so top of mind. Mm-hmm. They see you as that authority and as an expert. They start referring you, going to you, calling to you, and they're not just downloading. It's not because they're seeing something and going, oh, I'm going to buy right now. I'm going to download that PDF, or I'm going to go register for her, virtual funnel, or I'm going to register for her seller seminar. It's not about that. It's about becoming so top of mind in your community because people know you and they see you as the authority, and they're developing a relationship with you. So, people will say, well, what does it cost per lead? And I'm just like, it's so much more than that, right?
It's irrelevant. Like when people get into like KPIs and metrics, I mean, when first getting over the fear of doing video.
Mm-hmm.
One, getting better at video. Two, right? And when you understand just that component, how powerful video is, it's not an option for a business. I mean, and not just talking about real estate. It's not an option for business, period. Video is essential.
Business.
It's essential to our business. And I mean, as an entrepreneur, when you really become an entrepreneur, not being entrepreneurial, entrepreneurs understand that our superpower is communication. So video is a must. Either you do video or you audio, but you got to pick one. Right?
Yeah. I love to do video, and then I use audio of it. Like, for example, this is live right now on Facebook. We're then gonna take this and we're gonna repurpose it, and it's gonna go everywhere. And then we're gonna take the audio and we're putting it on our podcast, F.I.R.E.D Up with Krista Mashore. So nice. I mean, it's just, there's so much that you can do with it. And people will say, well, I don't have time to do a video, and I'm like, you don't have time not to, because you get like 20 pieces of content from one video.
When people say they don't have time, it's just not priority.
Yes.
That's all it is. Like, time is, we all have that same 1440. And it's amazing how you hear that's the excuse. And, a lot of people fear with video is like, oh, he or she is better than me, or they're better. No one's better than you on video. They're just braver than you. And that's what business requires, courage. And until you get to that point of having courage to build the business, then you can get over that fear of just doing video, because it ain't nothing on the other side of this camera that's going to hurt you.
Exactly. And that's how you look. I always tell everyone, well, that's exactly how you look, and that's exactly how you sound. So I know you're nervous about doing it, but that's how you are. That's who you are. So, you can't walk around, the store or go into a meeting with a bag over your face, right? People have got to see you. I actually was doing a training last week, and I almost was going to get on there with a bag on my face and put like 2 holes in it and tell everyone, now look, when your video's off right now while I'm teaching and training, do you like when I have a bag over my face? So turn your video camera on. We're all friends here, Anytime
I do live trainings, you have to, like, I do the boot camps. Yes. It's a must for you to turn the video on, because that's the world we live in. Like I said, the world we live in is click and zoom. That's it. We can put any other dimensions to it, right? But even just in our current environment with the pandemic, our world is click and zoom. And until we are able to adapt and accept that, it's not an evolution. It's just being relevant. It's always been a thing. It's just mandatory now, right?
Yeah.
So when people have, like I said, people that have these fear, like I said, it's always interesting. I always talk to people and they want to learn like the newest, advertising tips, or how do you do this and how do you do that? Before you spend a dime, let people know who you are. That's it. And then what do you do? Video. Well, why video? Because video gives you the ability to create some context to who you are. I can see right here if you're full of it or not. Right? You can't BS your way through video.
Yeah. Oh, and if you even just knew what the stats are for video, I mean, the stats around utilizing video and not utilizing video. Like, I'll just give you one example. According to, I forget the name of the source, but if you compare a landing page that has video compared to a landing page that doesn't, you get 800% more conversions with the landing page with video as compared to not, right? Mm-hmm. Forbes did a research that showed that 64% of people make a decision after purchasing. Like, they'll see a video, they'll make it, 64% of people will purchase after seeing a video. Well, they're purchasing us, right? Mm-hmm. They're buying us. So if they're 64% more likely to purchase us, why not? You get 66% more qualified leads with video. And I can go on for an hour about all the different ways that video can enhance your business, no matter what profession or business that you're in. Whether you're a local professional, you're selling t-shirts, you're selling hot dogs, you're a real estate agent.
It's the highest consumed content on the planet.
Yes. Yeah. It's just so good. So tell us why they call you the Zillow Killer. I know you were an Inman and you were on stage. Tell me what happened.
Some people think that I'm not that arrogant to call myself this. I just accepted the name. But telling Krista's story, how I got the name, I had my very first speaking engagement, and I was at Inman, New York, and they gave me 5 minutes. Like, so I was like, I'm gonna make it happen. So I had my shirts.
What do you even talk about in 5 minutes? Like, that is, how do you even do that?
Exactly. I didn't really care. Like I said, I was more concerned of people seeing my face, and I understand communication enough that I can get enough out in 5 minutes. Like, I think I'm likable enough that either you just got to be just that dense not to like me, right? But I can at least get you to remember who I am. If you're hear what I say. Yeah, I appreciate that. So, it ain't too many black dudes doing what I'm doing anyway. So that's immediate, connection right there.
And then you got to add buffed hot black dude to it, then you're just like, you're on it.
And while I was on, I had these shirts made that said Digital Natives, which is my company, in very low print. I had Zillow Killer right below it. Same kind of like what's behind me.
Mm.
And I did it more of, I mean, we're in marketing. So marketing is all about memorability. It's not about being accepted. And that's one thing you guys want to understand. Stop trying to blend in. Be memorable. Don't fit the crowd. Be that pink or be that purple cow, right? Seth Godin. And so I did that. And what happened was the rotation got all messed up on how the stage was. Now, keep in mind, they gave me 5. Like they just squeezed me in. It was just like, you got 5 minutes. So, and I was so happy to have it, I didn't care where I was. And somehow the rotation got all jacked up, and my speaking happened right after Zillow was up there for like an hour, just dragging along. And I went out there, and of course I had 5 minutes, and I just talked about what a funnel is and just how to connect that to real world. And I was so nervous. Like I was terrified. I was like 6,000 people. I was scared to
I
death.
can't even, like, I don't even know how you
Jeez.
did that, because I get so nervous when I'm in front of people. Like I shake and I can't speak
Wow.
right. And it is so hard. I can't even imagine being in front of 6,000 people. I mean, I can, because I'm going to do it one day, but oh my gosh.
I know this is I'm not gonna say what I said when I got on stage, but it's PG-13. But I was like, I'm nervous as S. And
Did you say that? You
I
said
said
it
it right
on
in my
stage?
mouth. I was in my head. That's the first thing that flew out my mouth.
Oh my God.
And
How'd that
the
go?
crowd went crazy, and they
Oh
started
man.
laughing. So it was like that instant connection. Of course, understanding communication. That's rapport. It was like,
Yeah.
okay, I want it. Okay, now I think you guys can sense I'm a real person, and it normalized it for me a little bit, so I can go through my little spiel, right?
Yeah.
And I've been practicing to get that 5 minutes out, and I went through my thing. It was pretty well received, because it was just typical. It wasn't the typical. Everyone was talking about
Different stuff.
they was talking about
When was
tacos.
this?
Oh, this is about 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about 2 years ago. And everybody's talking about tacos and stupid jokes. And it was just corny. It was real corny. Like I'm from Harlem. I don't do like that. So I just hit it and moved on. But I never said my name. And I just left off stage.
Oh God, weren't you so mad at yourself? You're like, dang it.
I didn't even see you know crazy. The crazy part about it, Chris, I was so ignorant to the speaking world. I didn't know. Like I didn't know what I couldn't do. Right. I just knew I had 5 minutes. Right.
Yeah.
And I had no training or like, oh, you make sure you say your name. And I was so oblivious that I just wanted to really give people, really help people. And I've always lived by that mantra. How could I be of service? And I was so concerned with just getting the information out. And I had like 6 seconds left. And I was like, thank you. And I got 6 seconds left. So just because everyone else was dragging along, they appreciated me finishing early, and I left. Right.
Yeah.
I went to the green room, and
well, you had said too that they weren't very, like, in the green room with all the
Oh,
people, they weren't very receptive of you. They were kind of mean to you.
They treated me like a dirty kid. They treated me like crap in the green room.
Why? I don't understand why. Do you think?
Well, they didn't know me, and I didn't know anybody, and some of these people have been around each other.
You're a little intimidating. Like you're very well put together. You're very well poised. You're physically so attractive, and you're buff. I think some people sometimes they take that and they're intimidated by it. So I really think that sometimes, like they
left me at a table by myself.
But you're not. Huh?
They let me sit at the table by myself. Like I think 2 people came and spoke to me, and
I would have totally come up to you and be like, "Hey, how are you doing?" I talk to everybody.
One guy he kind of challenged me like, "Hey, what's the whole Zillow Killer about?" And I was like, "That's what you see?" Like my company.
I would have asked that though. That's what I'd be like. What's Zillow Killer? But I'd be nicer about it, But
he wasn't nice. But after
nice.
I talked to him, like I said, I kind of again, I'm sympathetic for dickheads. Like I get it. Like you want to act like that, it's okay.
Beep.
Like I'm sorry. Oh Jesus. And anyway, they treated me like crap. Did what I had to do. I grabbed my bag. I was so annoyed because how they treated me. I grabbed my bag, and they was, now they're receptive. Everyone's hugging me, and I'm like, please, I gotta go. And I'm from a world, either we good or we not, right? So I go outside. When I get outside, I'm in the waiting room, and there was 2 people that came with me. So I'm just waiting for my guys to meet me there, and like 200 people like just came out. Like I was supposed to wait and let them come out, and then you come out after. So you're just not you're not caught in the bone rush. And I didn't know. I'm outside waiting, and then as the doors open, at least like 200 people was like, Zillow Killer, Zillow Killer. I was like, oh snap.
That's
Okay.
cool. You're like, man, go grab that URL right
Yeah.
now. I
I
gotta
reached out to
do
my
right away.
I hit my assistant and was like, everything that says Zillow Killer, lock it in. And I did almost like another 30-minute presentation right there. It was like about 200 people just around me, just asking questions because I had 5 minutes and I didn't have time to I just gave them information and just left.
Are you looking to transform your business? Well, if the answer is yes, then you don't want to miss out on our intensive event starting soon for only $97. This event is jam-packed, full days of live coaching with me. We have breakout sessions to customize and implement our daily trainings so that you can actually utilize them into your business. We're going to give you the training to craft your personal strategy to convert your leads into long-term clients. So let's go. What are you waiting for? Register now. Can't wait to see you there, and let's transform your business.
Yeah. Okay. So talk to us about, so what is the Zillow Killer? What's the Zillow Killer? I know the answer because I do it, but what is the Zillow Killer?
Well, it's more of a philosophy. Like I said, it's more of an ideology that I'm trying to get people to understand. I don't hate Zillow, right? Like people think that I have a dislike for Zillow, and that's not it. I just understand that Zillow has its place, especially when you understand what the internet can do. When you understand what the internet can do, you have total autonomy and you have that ability to create exclusivity for the incoming business that you can structure, right? But you need to understand Zillow has its place in the sense of you can use it or not, but it is not mandatory. And unfortunately, a lot of agents that come inside the industry, it's all they know, right? Go get some leads. We hear that. Go get some leads, right? And then go get some leads into, well, sign it to Zillow. And that's the only software company that we can almost say that's been vetted where there's multiple, but that's like the big boy. So it's more about helping the industry understand that you can control your marketing efforts. You have total control. You have the ability to create exclusivity, but you have to be willing to understand that the internet is a presence, not a destination. So it's not a hate for Zillow. It's more of a control factor where the industry understand that you don't have to depend on Zillow if you don't want to. But if you want to, cool.
And if you're not in real estate, every single profession and industry has their Zillow, right? A place where you buy leads from. Mm-hmm. And the idea is to become your own lead generating machine. And if we just can say one thing about Zillow is basically going to be putting agents out of business. They're already doing it. They are now a brokerage. They're a lending institution. They're hiring realtors to be contracted employees to basically utilize our listings that are coming from the MLS to take our people from us. And so it's amazing that people are paying them for leads to basically put them out of business. So it's not happening now, but right. What?
The fascinating part about Zillow is we as an industry built Zillow.
I know.
We facilitated the data for Zillow. We facilitated the money for Zillow. And we gave them us as clients.
Yes, absolutely. And they charge us to, we're paying them money to utilize them against us. It's really, really, really sad, honestly. So I've quit giving. I don't give Zillow a dime anymore. And it's funny now that I don't give them any money. They're not very good at responding to my phone calls or helping me when I need help at all. I'm just like, well, this is nice. I've given you guys hundreds of thousands of dollars and you can't now help me whatsoever. It's pretty sad, actually. And if you read their privacy, like we're committed to customer service. I don't think so unless you're getting paid. I don't know.
The worst part is most software companies are like that, and that's why like when I talked to you, when we was in the show, and I was saying I'm more interested, and I think the industry needs to do this too. We need to challenge and look for practitioners. That's what we need to listen to, right? And I'm not talking about practitioners that failed at it. Practitioners that was actually successful. That's doing it, that have managed to succeed somewhere, like yourself, where there will be a fool not to coach with you when you can give them, this is the blueprint. This is what I'm doing. This is what's happening. And I'm not talking about 20 years ago, because I had a meeting. Let's check this out. I had a meeting about 3 weeks ago. We do like consultations, and I have a structure of who can work with me. Just because you have money, you can't work with my company. So that's what we're very clear about the clientele we take on. And single agents are an immediate no-no if they don't have the structure of what we're doing, right? You need some infrastructure to take on the business that we bring, even if you can afford it. And we had a call this is about 3 weeks ago. And this was so funny because it's relevant to what we're saying right now. The only thing she could tell me was what she did 20 years ago. That was her conversation through the whole consultation. 20 years ago. I was like,
but why? How could it be? What's she been doing the past 20 years?
Nothing. She was booming 20 years ago, and that's what she's been living 20 years ago.
Oh
She
gosh.
hasn't gotten back to that, to whatever she was doing 20 years ago. She's been trying to make sense of it, and she hasn't gotten back. So she's been living in that fantasy bubble, that echo chamber of, yeah, because 20 years ago I was, and it's not where you're from, it's where you at right now. Nobody
Yeah.
cares about 20 years ago, right? And you got to be clear with
Yeah, you
people.
can't even 8 months ago doesn't even make a difference
Don't even
anymore.
make
It seems,
sense.
it does for me and you because we were doing digital marketing. I mean, when Corona happened, it didn't hurt my business in a marketing standpoint. In fact, it just helped it because no one else really knows how to market online. So we just stood out even more. But, it's all the online marketing that just, exposes ourselves and our properties for that matter.
It forced the industry to be relevant now. Like,
Yeah.
everyone was like, oh, I'm doing video calls. You should have been doing that. You should have been doing something. This isn't new. Like, I'm doing video now. Yeah, you should have been doing it. So don't think that you evolved. You're just relevant now.
Yeah,
So
you're relevant. And now it's a matter of, don't get discouraged. It's a matter of continuing and sticking to it and doing that. Okay. So what do you see agents doing? So you doing right, utilizing video, obviously you said. Now, what are they doing wrong? What do you see agents that what they're doing wrong?
a lot
Or
of
any
agents.
profession or industry or business?
Well, we can stick with, because I think most of the people are agents. It's the wrong part, and unfortunately, it's hard for them to understand it's wrong because they have so many cheerleaders. This vanity thing. Nobody cares about how much business you're doing, how many houses you sold. Only people care about that is the industry, and they're not ever going to buy anything from you, right? Until you get to a point where you're providing value and you're really speaking from your heart. I tell people I'm spiritual. I'm not religious or anything. I'm just spiritual. So I understand, like, if you believe Jesus, Buddha, Allah, Smurf berries, your choice, right? But I understand the Bible, and scripture talks about out of the mouth speaketh the heart, right? If you guys are really trying to help people, nobody cares about what you've done. They'll see that, right? Your success, your level of achievement will speak for itself. If you're at a place where you can be of service, and you're moving to the point where I want to be of service, but until you get that understanding that I want to help my market, I want to help my industry, I want to help my community, that vanity thing is very hard to get past, right? That braggadocio, it's like a Neapolitan complex. It's very interesting because, like I said, real estate is the only industry that we actually have to cooperate with our competitors, if you want to call it that, right? So who cares what you've done, right? It just cares how we're moving and how we're taking care of our community, how we're taking care of our market. And that vanity play is so big when you start to talk to people about marketing, they can't move that like that. They have this pompous approach about it. And for those that have managed to justify it, they justify it based off their other agents pumping them up. But when it comes to marketing, holds no weight. None at all.
Yes. You serve, don't sell, right? It's a serve, don't sell mentality. Help people and be of service and make their life better, answer their problems, be the solution to the problems they have. If you're not solving a problem, you can't be a solution, right? And then accompany that with just helping, right? How do you make their life better? What tips or tricks or hacks can you give them? How can you help them? How can you help your community? The more you can do that and position yourself as that type of expert that really cares, right? The more, business just comes and it becomes easy. And obviously doing that with video will help because people get to know you, like you, and trust you, and position you as the expert. Yeah. Okay. So this has been great. We typically keep it right around this time. We're usually around 30 minutes, and that's where we're hitting the top of the hour right now for that. So what
Very
I'd like to always ask everyone, James, and that is this: if you could leave with saying one thing to the listeners or people who are watching to really add value to their life, whether it be business or personal or whatever that would be, what piece of advice would you give them?
Perfection, being perfection, it's an illusion. It's not a real thing. And anybody that speaks perfection is evil because it doesn't exist. So move at the speed of implementation, execute, and be okay being imperfect, right? Because if you get caught up in that perfection ideology, it's not a real thing. And it's an easy way to stagnate growth. But I'll tell you one thing, if you don't do, somebody else will. So don't feel like it's deemed to you. Those gifts, those opportunities are open to us every day. Like, we have the responsibility and we have opportunities every day. So we have the responsibility to take full hold of the opportunities. But when we get consumed with that getting it perfect and that perfectionism, we forget that it's about execution. Move at the speed of implementation, and being perfect, it's not a real thing.
Yes, be perfectly imperfect and just take action and go, right? I mean, fail and fail forward, fail fast, right? It's not a bad thing, because when you do fail, you are really failing forward, you're learning. So just start. I mean, think about how many times that you've wanted to do something, if you're listening to this or watching this, and you just don't, because you're worried about it not being perfect. And so how long have you been worrying about that thing? Just start it and get it out there, and you'll learn as you go. And even when it's perfect, you're still going to learn. Like, you're going to still have to change and tweak and modify and edit, because it never is going to be perfect, right? And you really do truly learn by doing. That's how you learn what works and what doesn't.
That's it. And for you guys that's caught up into what people think about you, the way people feel and think about you is none of your business. Get to work.
I have a sign that says that what people think about you is none of your business. None of your business is what people think about you. I have it in my daughter's room now. James, so if people want to learn more about you, what do you have going on that they can learn more about? I know you've got a course.
Honestly, I'm since talking to you, like we're ripping the course apart, but we have coaching. I don't offer it. We offer the boot camp, and we kind of have a rule where I need to know who you are first. So the boot camp is the easiest way to connect, and we run them. One matter of fact, the December starts now. You can't get into that, but the next one is in February. You spend 5 nights with me. I go through an entire campaign structure, not a Facebook ad or YouTube ad. I show you a campaign structure, and I teach you guys how to generate conversations, not just leads. So you spend 5 nights with me. I record it. We get to know each other. It's a family structure, and the best way to learn is by osmosis and truly by access. So I give you access to who I am. I teach you. We go through paradigm shifts. So it's really cool, real cool. So that's the easiest and most cost-effective way. And I donate all of that money to children's charities. So it doesn't even stay with me.
That's awesome. So they go to zillowkiller.com to find out about that, or how do they find out about that?
You can go to jamesrembert.com or zillowkillerbootcamp.com. Either way.
Zillow Killer Bootcamp. I would go there. It's easier. zillowkillerbootcamp.com, and James, JamesRembert. That is Irish, by the way. And you'll get to know Irish twist. You'll get to know a little bit more about finding out how to work directly with James. Okay, James, this has been awesome. I really appreciate it. And thank you for being there. Thank you for that great piece of advice. I couldn't have said it more perfectly myself. And I just really, really respect and admire you. And so thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
You're awesome. And everyone, it's awesome to learn. But remember, if you don't implement, nothing happens. So implementation is key. And as always, thanks so much for a little bit of your time. I appreciate it so much. And I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.
Hey there, I have a brand new podcast called Fired Up with Krista Mashore, where I bring my high energy right to your ears. This podcast is available on all your favorite podcast platforms. So do me a favor, go subscribe and leave a review. All this information is free, and I cannot wait to teach you everything I know. Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.